Hey guys, welcome to Season 5, Episode 6 of the For the Generation podcast.
We are your hosts, Alexi Gomez
and Natalia Velasco.
And today we are starting our first episode of our 3-episode series called First Gen Through the Years. So this series will kind of consist of us talking to students at LMU and their different years in college. And so we just kind of want to get a sense of where they are in their first gen experience.
Our first guest is Vex Claudio. He is a freshman marketing major in film production and has a minor in philosophy. Currently at LMU, he just became a part of the service org Creare. Did I say
Creare.
Creare. Yeah. So sorry about that. He is next year's director of marketing for RHA and a part of the First to Go and Ignacio student support services. He's also getting more involved with videography for campus events.
And then we have our second guest, Xion Nelson. She is a sophomore majoring in math, and currently at LMU, she is in Bell Service Org, which I just joined actually. And she is also part of the First to Go and is currently a math grader, community impact coordinator, and peer facilitator. And she was also a TLC participant her freshman year.
Is there anything else you guys want to add about yourselves?
I have an orange cat, and I love him very much.
Slid.
I have a French bulldog.
Oh.
Okay, so
I have 3 dogs, and Alexa.
I have a dog, a Chihuahua.
That she has a Ring camera for.
Yes.
Oh.
I don't know if
really
I'll get
cool.
notified during this, probably.
Let me show you guys.
Okay, so first question, what does being first gen mean to you? You guys can go like in any order.
Yeah.
You can go.
I think first gen's very subjective to the first gen student or person. It combines a lot of experiences that is very unique and different to each person. So
Yeah,
I guess it depends on who you ask. And of course, there's that basic foundation of parents who hasn't been able to parents who didn't get the chance to go to college, and
Right.
that student is following that dream.
For me, I think it has to do a lot with being first gen, you kind of a lot of us are on scholarships.
Yeah.
And a lot of us, we don't come from wealthy backgrounds. So coming to college, we really want our degree. We're here to get what we came for.
Yeah.
We're determined to get that. And you kind of feel that when you're in spaces you want this more than other people. Our parents can't just pay for an extra year or pay for extra semesters or take money out for us to stay here longer. We have the time 4 years for most of us to be here, and we have to be out by then. So it's kind of wanting it more than other people. I feel as a first gen student, I'm a little more determined.
Yeah, for sure. How has being first gen impacted your freshman year, Vex, and then your sophomore year, Xion? Yeah.
It makes me realize that I really have to work harder than others to make sure I'm doing what I can to get my degree and accomplish my dreams and also my parents' dreams. I'm not here on a full ride. My dad still has to pay tuition. And so being here, I have to make sure that every money and every cent counts and that I don't waste any second here.
Yeah, for sure.
For me, I think it's really going through life in college, remembering I'm not just I'm a student here, but I'm also a part of my family back home.
Yeah.
I'm a Black woman. There's other things I go through, and school is a part of that, but it's not fully my life. And I think being first gen, it kind of helps me come back to the fact I'm gonna go through things other people aren't gonna go through, and it's hard at times to separate school from life and your mental health and the things you have the responsibilities with your family and stuff, and just understanding that other people don't always have those issues coming here, other people don't worry about those things, and it's kind of hard. It's damn, you don't have to care about anything else but going to class and doing whatever else you want at school. I have to worry about other things, making sure I work and stuff like that. So that's kind of how it's been playing into my sophomore year. And it's a hard realization, to know other people just have it easier than you. It's not a bad thing, but it's also damn, they do not worry about anything. And I'm sitting up at night, stressed and I'm trying to figure out how things are going to come together,
Do you feel your other identities also play a factor into your first gen identity, or?
Yeah, I think a lot of my identities, they all kind of tie into each other. They're interconnected. Being first gen, and being even a part of the first to go program, right? Most of us, our parents aren't wealthy, and most of us have jobs, and we all like share those things, but like being Black, like a lot of like undergrad Black students are first gen, and you learn about that, and they don't even know the program exists, like first to go. And like just being like lower income, like that's not great. But you know, I survive, and it does impact the way I can go to school. Like I have to work. Like when I don't work, it impacts me. I feel that. And like my parents feel that. Like it hurts everybody in my family if like I'm not working and stuff. But yeah, I definitely think all of those identities are interconnected in a sense, because being first gen, it's like this great concept, like, yeah, we're first generation college students, our parents didn't go to school or like finish, but oftentimes first gen students are just Black and brown students when you really boil it down. So
yeah, definitely. What about you, Vex?
Yeah, I'd have to agree that a lot of my identities really make what my first gen experience is. Like, again, I'm low income, I'm brown, so all of these identities come together and affect my life in different ways. And sometimes they combine with each other, and it just kind of makes it a little harder than, you know, a person who's white and has parents who went to college. So yeah, it does put my life into perspective sometimes too.
To add on to that, did any of you like know you guys were like first gen like college students, or like when did you realize you were?
I think the first time I kind of realized it was when my sister started applying, and that my parents couldn't really offer support in their knowledge of what college is like, and that they really pushed heavily on scholarships. You have to get the money. We can't afford college. So I think that's when I knew, and that's also when I knew, like, oh, I have to go to college too, or I want to go to college too, and kind of do what she's doing right now.
And how old is she? Sorry, I don't know.
She turned 25 in December.
Oh, super cool.
For me, I feel like too, when my sister was applying to college, I realized like that was a term, but I already like knew both of my parents didn't graduate from college, so I knew like me and my sister were kind of going into higher education not with like an upper hand. Like we didn't really know like the ins and out of it, but it was like, okay, we're gonna get through it, because like, and my family was like, going to college meant making more money. And like at the end of the day, that's what we needed to do, was make more money, be in a better situation than our parents were in. So like I feel like it was always like known, but I think the term wasn't like known prior to like applying to college.
Yeah, because I think when you apply, it asks you like, are you first gen, and like you check off this box, and I think that's when like First to Go emails us. And then it's like, apply for this, fill out these little questions. But I think I also, because of my sister, I knew. But even then, like, they only know so much, and they can't really help us with everything. So we have to, like, also figure it out on our own.
I was the first in my family. So, like, it had been talked about to me for a while. Like, I knew my parents didn't go to college. But I think I actually, like, realized what that meant when I was applying. Because I was like, oh, shoot. I'm going to have to do a lot more work than other people. Like, my friends were like, oh, yeah, my mom helped me with my application. I was like... My mom sat there when I wrote my essays, but she like couldn't really give me that same guidance that a lot of my friends had.
I feel like a lot of my parents were asking me more questions than I was asking like other people about the college applications. I don't know how my sister did that. I like really admire that she was able to, one, get a full ride and graduate with an amazing degree and like did amazing work. So
So how do you guys think the First to Go program has helped you adjust to college in general?
Do you want to go?
Do you want to go first?
I feel like you got it, Vex.
Okay. So I think First to Go has really helped me. It has established a family, and one of like my closest friends. I think I can always turn to First to Go with whatever I have, any support, and they'll give it to me. Like it has really made LMU feel like home away from home. And I often, like, whenever I do go home for break, I have to find myself like, oh, I kind of want to go back to school and hang out with my friends and stuff. I know they always have my back.
You're out of state, right? You're from out of state?
Yes.
Okay.
I love that for you. For me, I would say First to Go honestly really changed my like career trajectory and how I like even like started learning in my classes. As a math major in your classes, you don't really talk about anything else that has to do with life. Like, you're in there solving problems. You're trying to reach a goal. Like, there's not much talk about, like, oh, like, how was your experience as a Black woman in society? Or, like, in like connections to people and just talking about, like, being human. Like, we don't talk about that. And so in First to Go, it was, like, a moment to talk about those things. And at first it was uncomfortable because I was like, oh, I don't know what to say. Like, bleh. But like, then like as we progressed, like it really taught me how to advocate for myself in my education and kind of look at my learning in a different way. Like, I'm here to learn, but how can I connect my learning to like my life experiences and what type of person I want to be in the world, and like how are my experiences interconnected to like math and the work that I do in my classes. So I think it's made me a better student. Like just being a part of the First to Go program, it's changed the way I thought about my learning and how important it is. And like, it's not important in the sense of like, oh, you're getting all A's, but it's important in the sense of like, are you coming out a better human being? And like, did you learn? And are you like gonna like do good things and not, you know, make society worse?
Yeah.
So,
and I feel like Lexi definitely tries to like get that out of us. I remember last year I was so hesitant to talk to her. She would ask me stuff and I was like, I'm good. Like, I'm fine. I'm not talking to you about this. But now, like, I feel like she tries to make everyone really comfortable in the sense that you can go talk to her about those types of things.
Yeah, and I feel like, you know, where else do you have that type of like space to be comfortable?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like, you know, I low-key always have my guard up because you just never know where people are coming from, and like if someone's being genuine and it's like, oh, I don't really know you like that yet, because like of course we knew Lexi, but like I was still getting to know her. And you know, coming from a Black family, I know I was not taught to trust easily. Like it was very like always be on your guard and stuff. So that's how I like came into things. But it was nice to have a space where you didn't have to be on your guard and didn't have to feel like the world was crashing down on you every single day. So
So shout out to Lexi because she just got her doctorate.
Right. Yes,
we gotta say that on the podcast. Yeah. But yes, yes, Lexi is such an amazing person, and honestly, like the program too, just like connecting us with like older students as well. Like like Vero has told me like take this sociology class, do not take this one. Like it's just like little stuff like that where it's like we even like get to meet these older people who are gonna help us, and so it's honestly been really nice.
And I feel like it's cool because like, I mean, I don't know if you guys think we've helped you at all, but I feel like we could offer that to like the younger students too as we get older.
I know that if I'm ever in a bind, I will go to First to Go. Anybody in First to Go. I've known a lot of people who are very comfortable with talking to Flexi and, you know, trying to find solutions to problems that they encounter. I am fortunate enough that I haven't had like a major problem where I have to reach out, but I do know if that does arise, I can always go to her or anybody else in First to Go.
Yeah,
I love that.
We're a little family.
What would you tell yourself a year ago about your experience as a freshman and sophomore?
I always tell myself that everything happens for a reason. So my top school was USC, obviously for their film program. I got rejected. I was very upset, and LMU was actually my lowest.
Oh, really?
So I was like, I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
It's a Catholic school. Why would I go there?
So true.
So, but then I got accepted, and LMU kind of offered the most money compared to the other schools that accepted me out of state. And it was also in LA, and the school back at home that did accept me and gave me even the most financial aid still wasn't as good as LMU. And so I think I would just tell myself, like I tell myself every day, everything does happen for a reason.
Yeah, for sure.
So you just keep going.
What would I tell freshman me? Don't get your heart broken. Kidding. No, I think I would tell her just to like have a different outlook on life. Like it was very much like, oh my gosh, if I do not get straight A's, I'm a failure, and like I'm not gonna make it in the world. Like that was just what I was like, what was always going through my head. I mean, in high school, you know, I came from like having a great GPA and always getting A's, and like I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it in college, like, you know, and I'm on scholarship, so I was like, okay, I have to keep my grades up anyways. And so I was like always really concerned about that. But I think I was concerned to a point I wasn't trying to learn. And that was a real downfall for me freshman year. Like it wasn't helpful. I was just trying to memorize stuff and like just like kind of like float through life at that point. And, you know, I had all this freedom, so I was going crazy with it. And like, so I would just tell her, you know, don't worry about all of that. Like, take your time with your learning, grow within yourself. Like, it's okay to have to slow things down. It's okay to not be always, like, super fast.
Yeah, I've stopped caring about grades and started caring about the quality more than if this is good. Unless I really don't care about the class, and I just don't care at all.
Yeah, no.
But if I do care, then I'm going to put my soul into it.
Yeah.
And if I don't get an A, that's fine. I know what I'm worth.
Yeah,
pretty
like
much,
if you're putting in work that's good, then
then it's
you're
good.
satisfied
Yeah.
with it for sure.
And I think too, like sometimes it was so hard for me to come to terms with like I could have tried my best and not gotten what I wanted out of it, because it's always like, oh, if you try your best, like you will succeed, and like all that. You're always like kind of told that, like if you put forth your best effort, you know, put your mental health aside and make sure you're always there, like you're gonna do great. And like I was like, okay, I'm gonna do all those things, but like you might still not just get exactly what you want out of that. So like you said, like really putting your soul into it, like whatever grade you get or whatever evaluation they give you, like you know you gave it your all. So I agree.
For sure. What's motivated both of you to pursue your studies?
I think it's the support my parents are giving me by saying that it's okay to pursue arts. So my sister studied marine biology and all the STEM stuff. And I was originally a STEM person in high school. So I thought I was going to go into like being a doctor or a mathematician or an astronomer, something with STEM and science. But then I realized I want to be more creative, and my parents were like, fortunately, they were like, yes, you can do this as long as you can get money.
Yeah.
And that you're happy, that it's fine. So I think that, and also just I'm staying true to myself as well. Like I do want to create stories and be creative.
What motivates me? It used to be money, because I was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna make money when I get out of here." That's a lie. What is it now? I think it's definitely the fact that like I've learned so much already, and I'm just a sophomore, and like there's so much more to learn. And I don't mean just like in my classes, like learn something new in there, but like there's so much more to learn about myself, to learn about the world, and to learn about like my connections with people. And I think that's obvious. That's what keeps me here. Like, okay, I'm learning about myself. Like no matter what happens on this journey, like I'm learning who Xion is, and like you know, that's a great thing. Like learning yourself is a positive, even when it's hard. So I think that's kind of what keeps me waking up in the morning and like going to classes and going to work and doing all those things.
How has your experience in college so far shaped your worldview and beliefs? It's gonna be maybe like something you learned in a class, or even just like being a college student.
So I think being in college, I had a very one-track idea of what success was. Like success to me was like making money and like being in a better position than my parents were. And like now success is not, it really has nothing to do with money for me anymore. It has to do with like finding my purpose in the work that I do. So like in whatever job I have, or in whatever job I even have here right now, in career and everything, like, do I find purpose in it? Is Xion fulfilled in like what she's doing? Like that's success to me. Like when I find purpose in the work that I'm doing, and I feel like I'm making an impact in the way that I feel I can best make an impact, and like be in a job or a career that like I can do work that impacts people positively, and like only in a positive way, and like I can be there for other people. So college has definitely changed my idea of success, because you can make all the money in the world and you can be rich, and that's great. There's nothing wrong with wanting money. I never want to say that. I still would love to have money, but that's not where success is for me. Success is like, am I finding purpose? Do I love what I'm doing? Like, am I helping people?
How do you think your perspective on your future career goals since starting college? It kind of connects to the
I used to want to be like a data scientist or anything in math. I don't want to do anything with math anymore. I want to work in higher education, with STEM students specifically, because after doing some research, like STEM students just don't have a high retention rate in colleges. There's a lot of rigor with the courses, but there's like little application. So students are learning all this content, having to take exam after exam, but there's no application of stuff. And they just don't feel like they're really being prepared for like their careers outside of the classroom. So I'm really interested in like working with student success in STEM and seeing how to like change that and make it a better experience for them. So definitely a higher education compared to data science.
That's super cool.
Would you tutor like right now?
Yeah, I do. I'm a math grader, but I also like tutor some of the students in my class, and I've been helping my friend with his Calc 1 class. So always down to tutor.
Slay. What about you, Bex?
Help? Reach out to Xion.
Sometimes I miss math, but hearing from
Low
the
key,
story,
me too.
yeah, like
Okay.
I
Y'all want to
kind
see
of
my homework?
I want to
No.
take a stab at calc.
Calc 1?
Yeah,
I'm in Calc 3.
Okay.
You want to take a stab at it? You can look at my assignment, I promise.
Well, I think you need to do like a science and like math course.
Oh yeah.
So you
There
could
is a
take.
requirement.
Oh, my credit's satisfied.
Oh,
Those.
never mind.
Perfect.
What did you take that in high school?
Yes.
Yeah, I took
Oh,
some
okay.
community college courses.
Oh.
Smart. That's so
So
smart.
I don't have. I got away with philosophical inquiry. I've heard.
We had to take ethics, which is another philosophy class.
I'm taking ethics right now, but it's a great class.
Okay.
Oh, that's nice. Let me know which one because I have to take that.
Okay, I'll let you know.
Yes.
So could you repeat the question?
How has your perspective on your future career goals evolved since starting college?
Okay, so at first I didn't know any positions of film. Like I just knew I wanted to make film,
Yeah.
but I didn't realize there was so many people that make movies. Like you have your screenwriters, you have your editors, you have grips who just handle the equipment and light
Yeah.
the set. And so I think that just opened my eyes to so many opportunities in film. So last semester I've worked on a lot of sets as grip, just handling C stands. I have dreams about C stands now.
That is crazy.
Yeah, and lights.
Wow.
And it's just confirmed that I want to do camera work.
Oh,
Like,
that's super cool.
I've also was director for my Prod 101 class, and I did horribly. And so that confirmed
okay.
that I'm not a director or a great director.
We got
That's
to learn
okay.
somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just want to be behind the camera, and I know there's unions for the film
Yeah.
industry now,
Perfect.
so I can make an income and just do camera work, and I think I'll be happy with that. Even if I'm not making like $1 million for
Yeah.
a blockbuster film, I think I'll just be satisfied with just doing the camera.
Yeah. Would you ever consider doing something like creatively, like screenwriting or producing or anything like that?
Yeah, I think screenwriting might be a choice, or just director of photography, just kind of do the visual storytelling of it.
Yeah.
But I am really open to like really anything.
That's
Yeah.
super cool.
It's also you're just getting started, so you have like a couple years.
Yeah. You have some time to like figure it out.
Do you guys have like any projects or anything fun that you're working on or like excited about? It doesn't have to be a class space. I don't know.
Well, I did film a birthday party for my friend in Palm Springs over
Ooh.
spring break, and I edited it.
I don't know
Um,
how to say that one either.
Yeah.
I don't got it.
Trust me.
I'm doing the editing for it, and so far the rough cut looks good. I still have to go back into it and make it as good as it could be.
That's super cool.
How long does it take you to edit stuff like that?
Not much. I just have to find the time and motivation to do it, and like
Yeah.
sit down and just put things together.
Do you make a lot of like videos and stuff for your family and friends?
No, not as much as I want to,
Mhm.
but that birthday, like I had so much fun just filming it. Like
That's
I didn't
super
have to
cool.
party. I was seeing other people party, and it looked like straight out of a movie. So I know I could definitely have fun doing that for more
That's super cool.
for more events.
What about you, Xion?
I'm supposed to do some research over the summer.
Ooh.
TBD. I'm also gonna be the head like peer facilitator and like what Vero does basically.
Yeah.
Like her job. And like I really
Slay.
want to revamp the curriculum for the first to go Liba class. So
Yeah.
I'm really excited to like work on that closely and
That's
make it
super
mine.
cool. So does that mean you planned the retreat?
Yes, I will be a part of planning the retreat.
Slay.
So I'm really excited.
If you need help, we're
Oh
here.
gosh, you guys will definitely be there
Yeah,
by force.
we are here.
Please God come.
Do you guys want to talk about anything else? I know you went on your AB trip.
Oh my
recently,
gosh.
Xion.
Yeah. I went to AB Belize with a focus on educational justice. It was really great actually. We stayed at like another Jesuit institution. So they kind of had a like relationship with LMU already. And we like sat in on some of their it was like a community college.
Okay.
So we sat in on some of their like sociology classes, history classes there. Learned about the close ties of colonialism to education in Belize. And fun fact, in Belize, all of the schools have religious like affiliation. So none of them
wow.
like none of the schools like don't have religion in them.
So does that mean like you have to pay to go to school, or is it like more like public education with religious?
Public
emphasis?
education and private education, they're all like
Oh, wow.
yeah, which was surprising to me. I was like,
Yeah,
oh, like
that's
every
really
single
interesting.
all of them are connected to like a church or like some type of religion. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, oh, but yeah, so that was interesting to learn about. We got to go to like a school out there. and read to the children there and just like interact with them and talk to them, which was really nice. We were like immersed in the culture. Like we got to hear the Creole they spoke. We got to like go to a village that was originally somewhere where like where enslaved people would escape to.
Oh, wow.
So like we got to talk, like hear about their history, eat the food there, understand how like education was hard for them there because it stops. They call them standards instead of grades there, but like their education stopped there at like standard 6. So to go past that, they had to like go outside of their village like 2 hours. So we learned about like how that's difficult on them, obviously, to go 2 hours away from home to go to school, and it costs money. So that was really interesting. It was kind of like sad to hear about that you have to do all of that just to like further your education. And a lot of them, like English is the like language in Belize, like I forgot what they call it, like the national one or something like that. Yeah, whatever. They're like language, but most people English is their second language in Belize.
Got it.
So it's really hard for them in schools, like just adjusting to like making sure they speak formal English. And that was so hard to hear because it's like, of course, students are getting discouraged because they're just like, you know, English is so heavily enforced. And it's like, oh, you need to speak like this. But most of them don't even speak like that. So a lot of them face like cultural identity issues with that. We got to learn about, what else? We got to take like a cooking class and learn about their culture through food. And then we went cave tubing on Fun Friday. So that was fun.
That is so cool. So is standard 6 equivalent to like our 6th grade?
No, I think they're like, that would be equivalent to like our 9th grade or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically like once they're in high school, that's it. But like there's nothing past high school.
Wow.
And even in Belize, they only have 1 4-year university. Wow. So like most of them have to leave Belize to go to school. And there's this thing called brain drain. Like a lot of people who go out of, come to the States for school, they don't go back because they can't really find jobs in Belize. So it's called brain drain because they're all leaving to go, you know, get their education, but they don't come back because they're like, I'd prefer to find a job out here because they can't get one in Belize.
Wow, that's really interesting.
Have you gone on other AB trips?
Yeah, I went on AB Chicago my freshman year, but it wasn't in Chicago. We stayed in downtown LA. It was so sad, I know.
Wait, why?
Because they were like scared of COVID. And they didn't like push our trip back. So they were like, we're just going to stay in LA and like Zoom the partners in Chicago.
Really
That's not fun.
It was very hard not to go to Chicago, but like it was still really fun. That one was about anti-racism. It was a very heavy AV trip. I think most of the people on that trip were they people of color? Nah, there weren't that many people of color. But like it was just really heavy. Because anti-racism, you know, it goes pretty deep. You know, you get into white supremacy, systematic racism, all those things. Yeah. And honestly, on that trip, you just learn like, damn, everybody's failed me. And like having to sit with that is actually very hard, and it's very mentally draining.
Especially
but it was very
on
fun.
Zoom, I can imagine.
Yeah,
That's
it was, and it's just like you're learning about all this stuff, and it's like, damn, nobody wants to see me win. You know, but yeah, that trip was still good, even though it wasn't in Chicago. But yeah, those are my 2 trips so far.
super cool.
Bex, have you thought about going to AB trips?
I have not.
You should go.
Okay.
I know I'm a little biased, but you should go.
It's all cool.
And you should go on the one I lead, anyways.
Okay.
I
Who are you leading?
I led Belize this year. So like the trip I went on this year, I led, which was nice. You basically just like, you plan the pre-trip meetings a lot. So I had to like really focus on community building with our group because it's only like 10 people, which was great. They were very bonded during the trip. It was a very close-knit group, which was great. And then while you're there, you have to do like reflection. So that was fun. I think it made me want to be in higher education even more.
Oh, that's super cool.
And then do you have post meetings, right? Too?
Yes.
'Cause you have to present something, or
you don't have to present anything, but you have to do like a post-trip action, which is basically like bringing back your whatever you learned to LMU. So you're supposed to kind of like display what you learned, and my group is currently working on that. So
That's super
TBD.
cool. Do you plan on leading one next year?
I would love to lead another one. I don't know if I'll do like next year or my senior year.
Yeah.
Just because it was like a lot of work.
Yeah, I can
It's
imagine.
like it's worth it though. Like I don't want to say like, oh, it's a lot of work, don't do it. But
Yeah,
it's a lot of work and it's fulfilling. But if you're very busy, it's a little hard.
Yeah.
But I would definitely do it again. It's really
If you
fun.
do, I would love to go on your AB trip.
Oh my gosh, please, all
Yes,
of
that
you
would
go
be
on
so
AB
fun.
trips.
I
They're
would
so
be
much fun.
So down. Vex, do you have anything cool you want to talk about? Literally anything.
Well, okay.
No.
Whatever you want. No. No pressure. No pressure.
You don't have
Well,
to.
I'm the new director of marketing for RHA, which
What is RHA?
talk a little
RHA, I
about
believe, stands for Resident Hall Association. And so I'm the current president for Palm North,
got
RHA.
it.
And we just do like events for the hall. And RHA oversees all the other RHAs of the buildings. And so as director of marketing, I just do the marketing for RHA. I run their Instagram
Oh, that's
page.
rad.
Oh, that's
Yay.
I'll design the posters. It's kind of like you get the similar benefits as an RA, like free housing.
Oh, that's
wow.
nice.
So yeah, it's very, I think it's very awesome. I have a question. Do classes get harder, or do they get? Well, I guess it depends on the major, but
Yeah.
do you think it gets harder or easier?
I think, like, even if the content of the class is getting harder, you're getting smarter. Like, and you're kind of learning how you learn what works best for you. So I think you get, like, better at handling hard classes.
Yeah.
I don't want to say, like, classes get easier, because I'd be lying. But, like, obviously the content gets a little harder. But, like, you get better at, like, understanding how you learn, understanding how to take exams, understanding how to do all those things. So it makes it a little easier than, like, freshman year. Like, because I know I have harder classes right now, but I'm handling it way better than I did my freshman year. Like, I don't know what you guys would say, but, like, that's kind of my advice.
I feel like for my majors, at least for psych, it definitely first semester sophomore year, it did get a little bit harder, but it was just because we were doing like STEM stuff for psych, which they don't tell you that you have to do. And they were actually really difficult classes. I had to take like a neuroscience class. They call it brain and behavior, so you don't get that science
Yeah.
requirement, even though it is like a neuroscience class. So I still have to take a science, which is really annoying. And then I also took a psych stats class, which that one's notorious for people just not passing. Like there was a lot of students that they were like, oh, this is my fourth time taking it. Like it was
I've heard about that.
intense. Milan had it with me.
I've heard, like, horror
Yeah,
stories.
and we were like, oh my God. Luckily, I feel like I did pretty well in the class just because like I hadn't taken math in a long time. Like my COVID math, I don't think counted. So like I really hadn't taken math since like my sophomore year of high school.
Yeah.
In my head, I did take it, but like
Yeah.
COVID. But that one was definitely like, wow, this is crazy. But I think it's also like the structure of some classes. Like it was like 18 chapters of content, like really heavy content in 15 weeks, which is impossible. We were doing like 2 chapters a week sometimes of really heavy math. But I think like same with Xion, I've learned how to handle the classes a lot better. And then like I did have really writing heavy classes freshman year. I wrote 2 25-page papers. And I'm
Your
also
freshman year?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, one of them was for philosophy. It was like a core. A nightmare.
Who did you have?
Water stripe. Never take her. There was like people dropping left and right. It was a disaster. But I'm also poli-sci, and that's really writing heavy. So I think that prepared me because now they're like, write 10 pages. And I'm like, yeah, I could do that in 2 hours. Like,
Yeah.
it's fine. But yeah, I feel like once you get more experience with the content and how college works, the classes get easier as far as like how you handle them.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just like find out how you work. And then also like I know like lower division and like upper division, like that sounds so scary, but I'm like taking upper division classes right now and I feel like it's like the same kind of type. Like obviously I personally feel like some core classes are way more difficult than my major classes.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I spend more time on that, more time doing these long essays for like no reason, and I'm like, I like, no offense, but we're kind of in here because we have to, like not because we really want, and it sucks, but it's also like I don't know.
A little bit of slack.
Yeah, I'm taking the ethics. I'm taking the upper division ethics, and I don't do anything in that class. I learn.
Who's your
Yeah.
professor?
Darmud Brahinak,
Brahina.
I have
Yeah.
Vicente.
What is the class called?
ethics. It's
Oh,
literally just called
it's
ethics.
just ethics.
Yeah, but he focuses on Buddhism,
Oh,
and
that's so cool.
I love that class.
it's a really good class. Like all we do is like green book assignments, which are like 1 paragraph essays,
Oh,
Okay.
and it's just power. It's
I
very-
will kill
this-
for that.
this class goes by like very smoothly. And
Interesting. Yeah, I
Thanks
need
for
to pick
the
out my
plug.
classes soon. So.
Yeah. Also, just be strategic. Like, I'm
No,
really
yeah.
strategic choosing my classes, especially cores, because I love to put all my attention on like my major classes. I know that's sad to say, but those cores.
It's a valid.
No,
it's a
it
valid.
is
valid
And it's
point
like,
for sure.
I feel like I would enjoy the cores more if like they weren't like some of the professors weren't so like heavy on the coursework for a core class.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's like this isn't even my major. Why are you doing this to
Yeah.
me? You know, that type of
Yeah.
feeling. So I go through rate my professor. When I figure out a professor I'm interested in, I like ask people. I'm like, have you taken him? What have you heard about him? Like I'm
Yeah.
so strategic. I'm like, okay, so like how many exams did he give? Was it exam heavy? Like I try to make sure I'm not stressed in a core class if I
Yeah.
can.
I was fooled by word of mouth by professors. So he was my prod 101 class.
Okay.
I don't like that guy.
I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Sounds traumatic.
breath.
Vex, are you okay? Were you
Do we need to
okay?
meditate?
We need to take a moment.
Do
of
we need to
silence.
journal 2 pages?
We need to front and back. Do tomorrow. Do tomorrow.
Every line.
Just scribble. Just scribble.
Margins
The
included.
free writing is traumatizing. No, he's not on Rate My Professor.
Oh.
And I asked people like, oh, who did you have for Prod 101 last semester? And they were like, this guy. I'm like, okay. Is he good? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, I'll take him.
You're all cool.
No.
No.
Boo.
No. I wish I took another class
I'm so sorry.
with.
Was
like,
he like mean?
No,
or
he's
what
just
was-
very film bro-y.
Oh,
What does that mean?
Yeah,
like-
we're not film majors.
Sorry, I'm STEM minded. I am. I have to tell people like I don't know what you're talking about.
So basically, like someone who's like all about film. They know everything about film, know every movie.
Mm.
Their
Okay.
favorite director is like Nolan or something, and their favorite
a
movie
basic
is
one.
I don't even know.
like
that.
very
Such a
very
basic
basic, white,
Someone's like, I don't know who that is.
No, I knew that was. That's the
Okay.
crazy part. It's so
very basic and white film.
Yeah, the
person.
way I knew too. That's
Yeah.
how you know.
So, and I remember a comment he made. He was disappointed in one of our sets coming back from spring break,
Mhm.
and we explained that we were tired and we couldn't meet,
Yeah.
you know, to discuss the set.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, I was tired too. I went skiing in Colorado."
What?
And I
Oh
was
my
like,
God.
I was,
You're all okay.
yeah.
I love that you found community with First to Go. That like really warmed my heart.
Thank you. Yeah,
so
no,
happy to
yeah. I love First to Go.
But yeah, well, I think
that's
that
it.
we're done then for this episode. Thank you so much for listening and watching the For the Generation podcast
We'll be back with our second episode.
of this series so super soon
Yes.
with our junior and senior. We won't tell you who it is yet. It'll be a little surprise.
you have to see.
We could tell you guys, but after. You know where to find us.
For the Gen, Twitter, Instagram,
TikTok,
YouTube, anywhere.
Spotify.
That's
yeah,
it.
but thank you.
Thank you guys
guys
for
wanna
being
say
here.
Thank you for
anything?
having
Thank
us.
you.
We had so much fun.
Yeah, we had so much fun talking to you guys.
I had more fun.
Xion had
Okay.
the most fun, actually.
I beat everybody.
Thank you for the Capri Sun. That's like,
Yeah, if you guys want to like plug your stuff or whatever,
I have.
or
You don't have
not,
to.
we
I have
can like
nothing to
also
plug.
include it like.
Oh,
in the
like my
description.
Instagram?
Whatever you want.
Oh, I think I'm Xion_21. My name is XION 21_21.
Slay, slay.
I guess my Instagram's IOUTO_. So yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Super cool.
I don't know if you guys like have anything else you want to plug. I don't know,
Yeah.
projects,
Um,
whatever.
Follow RHA on Instagram soon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have
Thank-
nothing to plug.
No worries. You're totally fine. Well, thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
Bye.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.